Canada's new Prime Minister just called for an election. France just sent out a How to Survive War manual. And there's protests in Turkey. Let's catch up. So, Canada's PM, Mark Carney, is about to call a snap election this Sunday. The campaign has to last at least 36 days, which means that the earliest time that we can hit the polls in Canada is April 28th. This is the first election without Trudeau in nearly a decade, and the political game has flipped. Liberals were struggling, and suddenly they're very competitive in the polls now that they have Carney. This is because a lot of Trump's economic chaos has spilled over into Canada, and it makes Carney look pretty good in the way that he's handling it. Carney's a former central banker who was never a politician before, and in his first 2 weeks as Liberal leader, he has gotten rid of the carbon tax, and he's already promising to get rid of the sales tax on first-time home buyers buying homes under $1 million. Logistically, if April 28th is election day, early voting is going to be Easter weekend, which is April 18th to 21st. Each party can spend up to $35.4 million during the campaign. And France just sent out a war survival manual, kind of. France is handing out a 20-page guide to help people prep for natural disasters, cyber attacks, pandemics, and they've added war as well. Inside is a bunch of emergency contacts, which radio stations to listen to, how to lock down your home, and encourages people to volunteer. They want to do this now, among other countries like Sweden and Finland that have already sent out similar guides, because they think it's smart planning as they plan to also boost the military. They want to aim for 100,000 reservists by 2035. And Istanbul's mayor was just arrested, and people are pissed. Mass protests for the second night in a row have erupted after Mayor Imamoglu got arrested. The guy's a major threat to Erdogan, and now he's facing corruption and terror charges, which a lot of people think is bullshit. And in the streets, protests are spread everywhere. Ankara, Adana, Izmir. Police are using tear gas and water cannons, and the government put out a 4-day protest ban on Istanbul. But people are obviously ignoring it. That's not really how protests work. According to the official statement, the mayor got arrested because he misused public funds and worked with Kurdish groups, PKK, a banned organization. And if he's formally charged, he could be removed from office and replaced by a government puppet. Erdogan's side says that it's not political, it's just the law. They claim that the courts are fully independent, and Erdogan is calling out the opposition for riling people up instead of proving his innocence. Social media is also having a crackdown as 37 people were arrested for provocative posts. Internationally, there's also been some response. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is straight up calling this a quote-unquote bad sign for democracy, and he says it's a terrible look for Turkey-EU relations. The mayor was about to be the main opposition presidential candidate. His arrest throws the election into chaos. His university diploma was revoked, making him ineligible to run now. There's more protests to be expected, and some analysts think that Turkey is heading towards a major political crisis. So what do you think? Do you think Mark Carney has a chance to win the election, or do you think the Conservatives are going to come and win with a landslide? Let me know in the comments, and as always, I'll see you in tomorrow's update.